Hi. If you're a PDI who is facing the possibility of having to apply for a third trainee license because the sheer lack of Part 3 test availability has forced you into that position, then it may well be, unfortunately, a case that that third license application is rejected by the DVSA. So what are your options then? Well, that's exactly the conversation that I had with a PDI who is in this exact position, which is coming up shortly. So if you are in the same position as Nick finds himself at the moment, then follow the same advice that I gave to him. Okay, as always, if you do need any further information, just leave a comment in the box below, and please do like and subscribe, because that will really help me to grow this channel and improve the content that I provide for you. Okay, as always, take care. Bye. Yeah, just the part 3. Just the part 3. Nothing to worry about.
I know, and I've got the added pressure of my pink license coming to an end a week on Tuesday, I think.
Right, okay.
I've applied. I asked the DVSA, do I need to do anything different because it's my third application? No response. So I thought, right, I'm just going to apply for it as I would normally. And they've let me do it, and I've sent my supporting docs off. I think that was Thursday.
Right.
And I've not heard anything since. So I'm just hoping. I did a bit of a email sort of saying, look, this is why I need a third license, because of you lot cancelling your tests and long waiting times and whatnot. So give a bit of a sob story as well. So hopefully it works.
Right. Let me just reassure you, because you may not be aware of this.
Right.
But tell me if you are. Even if they come back and refuse to give you another license, you've probably got at least another 6 months to go.
With the complaint, is it?
Yeah, the appeals.
The appeal, that was
the
it, yeah.
appeals procedure.
Is it that long?
Yeah. If not longer. I mean, when pre-COVID,
Yeah.
it was 6 months.
Oh, right.
So I can't imagine it's any shorter.
No.
Because they will be getting
Thousands, probably.
more and more and more
Yeah.
people going to appeal.
Right. Okay. So
the courts, because it has to be adjudicated in a court. I mean, I don't think it's an actual courtroom, but it is.
And I don't have to go.
You can go. You don't have to.
Right.
No. So what happens?
Right. Okay.
So what happens? Just to explain the process. If this happens, you'll get an email from the DVSA that might say they're rejecting your application for a third license. But they will explain that you're allowed to appeal it. You have 14 days in which to put in an appeal.
Okay.
So you do it online. There's a form that you can fill it in online, and then you send it off as an email attachment with any other supporting documentation that you've got. When that's received by the Court of Appeal, they then write to the DVSA to notify them that they've received an appeal.
Right.
And DVSA then have 14 days in which to reply to that communication.
Right.
They, on day 14, will then reply to the Court of Appeal saying, we're rejecting the appeal. They then write to you and say, the DVSA are rejecting your appeal, so you now have 14 days to submit your reasoning as to why you're countering the DVSA's. They then get another 14 days, and then after all of that happens, it then goes into somebody's in-tray, waiting for it to rise to the top before it's heard by the Court of Appeal. And that the whole process takes about 6 months. Now,
Right.
According to the law, whilst that appeal is in process, legally you're allowed to continue to teach for reward on the current license, even though it's expired.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
In terms of any challenge that you might get, you can leave your license displayed. It's highly unlikely, but if the examiner, if you're taking somebody on test, questioned why your license has expired, you just say, going through the appeals process.
I'd have to show them any documentation or anything. No. I was worried about that. I'm getting in going 27th of August, and we having to get like loads of docs out going, look, no, not there.
No. Just say
Because it's not going to stop the test, is it? I mean, it doesn't matter, does it, whether it's been valid or not valid for the actual test, because I'm not in the car technically.
Well, you should have it displayed if you are being paid
Yeah.
for giving tuition. Now, my argument is, well, if you're not in the car, then you're not giving tuition.
Yeah.
So
Exactly,
you don't have to have it displayed.
No. But they don't. They like it to be displayed, don't they? They don't like people taking it off. Do they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's good to know. Is it quite a lengthy procedure, as in for me to appeal? Because I've heard it can be a bit of a nightmare filling out all forms and stuff, or is it?
It's a bit of a pain in the backside, because there are lots of bits of info that you need to fill in, and it's not the best designed form in the world. It's just a bit time consuming, really.
Right.
But other than that, now I can almost guarantee that if you have to go down that process, the final decision will be in favour of the DVSA.
Right. Okay.
Because the Court of Appeal's sort of position in law is they'll always find in favour of the DVSA unless the DVSA have made some form of technical error in the way that they have processed
Right.
your application.
Yeah.
So you can have the best sob story in the world, and it might be true.
Yeah.
Okay, but unless they've done something technically wrong, and they shouldn't, on a technicality, have rejected your application, then it's always going to go in favour of the DVSA.
Yeah.
But at least it gives you another 6 months in which to
Yeah.
complete the process. And if you then say you weren't successful on Friday and you have to go for your third and final attempt and you pass, then that appeal just becomes null and void.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just cancel it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's good. It's even though technically we're better going through appeal because it wouldn't cost me the £140 for the licence, but it's obviously, I mean, either way, yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to know that that's a backup at least. But
Yeah.